Justin, how is heart?
Only 17 years, 18, only 18 years.
Young.
But it's slightly different. So I came at this, actually, the first thing for me was doing Derek's lovely operation. Obviously Mike was the manufacturer of Derek's lovely procedure, was groin pain. And I was enthusiastically resurfacing, but noticed groin pain. And so while Dan Datchley was a PhD student of mine, we were looking at frames of reference in the pelvis and the hip, and using a bit of software that my first grant was to get this bit of software written last century, allowed us to map the rim of the acetabulum, and it was quite a mathematical rim. And I initially, 2007, I remember we made some metal-on-metal mock-up resurfacings with the contour. And of course, it was, the whole metal-on-metal was just going downhill. And the thought that anyone was going to make a new metal-on-metal device, it was obviously not going to happen. So we retreated as resurfacing, as everyone remembers, till 2008, 9, 10, it all just went to pieces. But then we started talking to CeramTec and been working with CeramTec really full time since 2013 on the making of our contour. We had two contours to begin with, on the head and the sockets. The head was just my vanity, and I suppose I was just wrong about the head. The head, we had a contour on the head which is perfect for the dysplastic female. It's completely perfect, but for a cam male whose football's turned into a rugby ball, the cylinder you cut is it's got a bigger cylindrical surface than our cutout, so that we've got rid of that. But CeramTec put a whole lot of work into making the contours and blending the radius between the bearing surface and a contour is a pig of a thing, and obviously amazing. Development team in CeramTec made this beautiful contour, which certainly for the running woman who really is helped by those contours. Men don't need, the BHR is completely perfect for men. You can't be better than that. But the other interesting relationship, my hip arthroplasty life from the early 90s was using Ronnie Furlong's fully coated, HA-coated ceramic on ceramic hip. And so I knew ceramic on ceramic was completely fine. Even the old Forte, as long as you didn't use a short head, was really very good. So Delta ceramic on ceramic was obvious, and cementless coating worked perfectly. And in fact, Heinke Gruner, who set up Medicoat, set it up to coat the Furlong hips. They were the first HA-coated hips, I think, in the world. I think it's true to say, before Corail, a year before Corail. And his son Philip runs Medicoat still, and he. So I knew the coating really, really worked, and the excitement of plasma spraying titanium and HA onto green machine ceramic. That's an experiment, and it's only been going in 8 years. So we've only got 8 years, and aside from that one case that Kuhn showed earlier, there's been no issue. I'm pretty sure. Medicoat do the same very similar coating. I don't know whether between the two devices, and it seems to be very benign. But whether at 15 or 20 years it unzips, we don't know. And the reason we don't know is that adhesion science is very niche, and there are professors of engineering in this room who also will agree adhesion science is very niche. Really what's going on when you plasma spray titanium onto that very interesting green machine Delta at a molecular level, it's very, very postgraduate to say you understand the bonding and how it's going to mature over time. But anyway, thus far, with as every year goes by, although it's been a miserable regulatory process, we had the same notified body that decided not to continue with MDR, and so we had no notified body. You can't make a product without a notified body in Europe. It was terrible. How was it over a year? Anyway, it was terrible, literally terrible. It looks like it's a benign bone implant interface. The haters continue to hate, but the lovely thing about being in Europe is ceramic on ceramic is mainstream in Europe. It's not mainstream the other side of the Atlantic. They have I don't know, I think it was Jack Nicklaus, I don't know what it was, but there's a couple of high-profile squeakers and a huge corporation sort of briefing against it. But it's a very, very benign material, in my experience.